Hello everyone, welcome to MountainTop Koi. For those of you that don't know, my name is Peter Goff and I am the owner and operator of MountainTop Koi. Today is February 13th, 2021. It is currently about 20 degrees and we have about 3 feet of snow on the ground. So these first few videos that we put out are going to be more of a informational type video. We can't really get out obviously to the fish. They're under a foot of ice and 3 feet of snow in the mud ponds. I do have some downstairs, which I'll probably put in some of the videos coming up. But today I just wanted to give you a kind of insight as to myself and the farm. So, I started keeping koi about 15 years ago. I've kept fish since I was 5 years old, tropical fish of one variety or another. Bred African cichlids for a while, had 100 tanks of those, used to ship them all over the United States, and kind of how we got started with the koi. We had a small store that we ran out of our garage, and the first year we were in business, we had several people come in and ask for pond fish. So I put a small pond in and started getting koi. Started doing a lot of research, you know, how to keep them alive, different varieties, that type, a lot of the basic stuff. Over the years, we moved to a larger store and sold koi out of that. And at the time, we were just buying and selling fish, so there was no breeding or nothing involved. And finally, we ended up having to close the store due to the economy. So when we closed the store, I spoke to my wife, said I really wanted to get into spawning koi. And so we took all the what funding we had from liquidating our assets at the store, and I put in 12 ponds, 12 liner ponds about 8 foot by 8 foot, 3 feet deep. So we started importing some Japanese fish. We had some domestic stuff, started importing some Japanese stuff, and started spawning. The first couple years, the spawns went well. We had good hatch rates, everything, but the growth of the fry was very slow. I did endless hours of research on, how to grow fry and breeding, everything. So what it came down to essentially was we needed more space. So I put in 5 mud ponds, and because of the lay of our property, we do live on top of a mountain. We put in what they would call or consider a strip pond. So they're narrow, long ponds, and we do that because to put in a wide pond, if it steps down off from the mountain, what ends up happening is the dam of your pond has to be extremely tall. So you end up with very deep ponds, which makes it very difficult to get the fish back out. So that's the style of ponds we have, is strip ponds. We currently have, depending on how you count things, 55 ponds. So we're, to me, still, I'm not going to say in the infancy, but in the middle. We definitely know, we have the experience. This is our 9th year, if I'm not mistaken, in breeding fish, spawning koi, and raising koi. Definitely have the basics, everything down as far as growing them, that type of thing, keeping them healthy, growing them, all of that. But getting to where I want to be is going to take more time. When I started the farm, I did so on the idea that at some point we would produce these, beautiful, amazing koi that you see that sell for, hundreds or thousands or, hundreds of thousands of dollars. I didn't know at that time how hard that would be. I have a much better grasp of that now. So as we go through we have definitely upgraded the quality of our breeding stock over the years. Huge difference from 3 years, 5 years ago in what we have now. Just we have a better eye for what we want to buy to make good brood stock, as well as, to be honest, more funding available. As this business grows, it funds more growth for the business. So, we've gotten a lot nicer fish, a lot better quality. That's also big due to, in a really big part, a friend of ours, or a person that's become a really close friend of ours. I bought numerous retired shellfish from him, that are now broodstock on the farm. So that made a really, really substantial leap in the quality of our fish. But as far as the future goes for the farm, I don't want to be the biggest farm in the United States. That's not my desire. That's At some point, I love doing what I do. I Wintertime drives me crazy because there's not enough to do. I do have ponds in my basement that we have our breeders in, and we also have a grow out pond where we put a small number of our best quality fish to continue to grow through the winter. So they give me something to do. But going from 16 hours a day during the summer, culling fish, feeding fish, pond maintenance, that type of stuff, to a virtual standstill in the winter just really stinks. So I'm looking very forward to spring. But back to the quality. Recently, was talking to some people, and they asked me, at what point will you be happy with where you're at on the farm? And again, it doesn't go to size. I don't want 1,000 ponds. I have no desire. What I want is 50 ponds full of really, really good fish. That's much more what I would want than 1,000 ponds full of pond grade, everyday stuff. So we're still learning, we're still trying, we're still acquiring better quality stock. We brought in, I think, 13 or 15 Japanese imports last year, Tosai, to grow up to become broodstock on the farm. Some of those will go into play this year. Hopefully that will again increase the quality of the fry we produce this year. Hopefully we have better fry this year than we had last year. That's the goal. And we have about 20 or so Tosai and one Nisai coming in later this spring from Japan again to increase the quality. Also the varieties, like one of the things that will be ready to breed this year that we haven't had in the past is Deutsch Showa. So we have a really nice Deutsch Showa male that will be put with a couple of our Showa females to try to produce some Deutsch Showa. So a lot of it is not only quality but also variety. We have some Ginrin stuff in varieties that we haven't had prior to this year. But basically, we won't sacrifice the quality for the variety. So in other words, the male Deutsch Showa that we have is as good or better than the breeding stock that we have for regular Showa. So in no way are we willing to go backwards. So that's the goal. The goal is, I guess, the closest I could ever be to being content with where the farm is at any given point is to win grand champion at a U.S. koi show. At that point, I will have known that I accomplished something. And that may be, if there ever is a time where I'm content with what we have and what we produce, that'll be it. But until then, we will continue to strive to produce better quality fish. Health is always a big concern, obviously. I don't want to sell you a fish or sell anyone a fish that's going to die. That's not good business. It's only going to happen so many times before I lose customers, and I definitely don't want that. We're here to create, friendships, not customers. So, long term, that's, kind of where we want to be. We do need more ponds on the farm. I'm not saying we're done expanding, but that isn't my goal. I need to expand to increase my quality. My quality is my goal. So, hopefully, those of you that watch this video, if you're ever in the area, feel free, give me a call, stop in, take a look for yourself. We're trying to do our best. We're not at the pinnacle there, yet, but that's where we're headed. So, for those of you, like I said, if you're in the area, feel free to stop. We don't ship yet. We're thinking about getting into it this spring, but because of COVID, all the delays with everything still, that's still questionable. We may start doing airport to airport. If we do anything, that'll probably be what we do. So if you're interested in fish from us, that'd be one way for you to get them other than visiting the farm. But we're hoping that we can, throughout this summer, to give you a video every week or so. We're going to try to more specifically cover breeding, culling, sorting of koi, that type of stuff, and we'll give you as much information as we can. There is some things, some of the spawns that we've had have produced fish that, to my knowledge, we're the only farm in the world. The lost varieties of koi is what they call them. We have those. So stuff like that, we theoretically, we just, we don't want to disclose what we spawned to get those fish. So there will be things, but for the most part, we're going to try to be pretty open and give you as much information as we can. So if you like the video, or if you want to see more, get more in depth, it's going to be a lot more fun this summer when we can get outside and start actually, visiting mud ponds and pulling fish and sorting fish and stuff like that. So if you like the video, feel free to subscribe. Hit the notification icon. That will alert you every time we put a video out. And as I said, hopefully the content will get better throughout the summer and a lot more informative. If there's anything you'd like to see discussed on the channel, feel free to leave a word in the comments. Any suggestions on future video, that type of thing, we will definitely take into account any recommendations we get. So we appreciate it. We hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.